So, when I would relapse, the the shit feeling that you probably feel as well, that really fucked me up. I'd relapse and I would try to make up for relapsing. I'd relapse, I'd get a build up of energy, and then I'd go out and do some training. And this was probably the key, or at least one of the keys, to how I overcome or how I overcame NoFap. And people don't talk about this. And this is probably one of the more important things that I'll talk about on this channel is that you can use the energy after you've relapsed for good. It's like a superpower. Now, before we get into this, check out the course. It works. I essentially just save you a year of struggle for an extortionary cheap price. And it works. People are loving it. And people are seeing progress. And that's the main thing. Because people it's make or break with NoFap. If I done one thing differently, I would still be jerking off. I wouldn't be sat here right now preaching the virtues of NoFap. And I learned every single thing that I teach through hardship and struggle. And if you want to deal with the struggle, you want to live through the struggle, by all means, then don't buy the course. But if you want to overcome NoFap as quick as you can and start achieving shit and become a high level man, then check it out. There's no point of being a low tier man and feeling shit about it. Why not just be a high tier man? Why not just have that switch in gear where you can start getting shit done because you're not worried about jerking off to fucking Sophie Rain? No. You're thinking about getting a chick, getting a girl, and then you're thinking about your business. Then you're thinking about sports, whatever the fuck it is. But you need to have no vices. You need to have no restrictions that can stop you from achieving the highest version of you. So, check it out. Today I want to tell you about why you should use post-nut clarity. What is post-nut clarity? Essentially, it's the shit feelings, the anger you may feel after relapsing. I would always get this probably about a year, 2 years into my addiction. I would jerk off and then I'd relapse. I'd be a fucking mess. And I'd feel shit. I wouldn't know what to do. I'd be depressed. I've even had suicidal thoughts after relapse. I think, why the fuck did I do that? Life's gonna be fucking tremendous now. It's gonna be painful. I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna be shit around girls again. What's the point of even living? And you get these thoughts, your brain's fucked up post relapse. And what I found was to use that energy, use that anger, use that sadness, use all of the emotions and energy you have built up for something productive. So by using post-nut clarity, it's kind of like cope. And I'm not trying to get you guys to cope. I want you guys to have the best chance at overcoming your addiction. And to do this, you need to use post-nut clarity. But after you've used post-nut clarity, you feel better. You feel like you've got a chance. You feel like you've got a better shot at doing it, at overcoming your addiction, because you have a bit of momentum. Momentum kind of, it's like like a football. You have to kick the ball. Once you've kicked the ball, momentum keeps the ball rolling. You've kicked it, you've jump started it, and now it's going to keep rolling. It will stop if you don't kick it again, but it will gain a bit of momentum. And it's the same for this. You want to kick yourself into gear, gain a bit of momentum, give yourself another kick, momentum. Same with the boulder analogy. You have to push the boulder till you reach the hill. Once you reach the hill, you start pushing it down the hill, you got momentum helping you. But the problem is when you relapse, you wipe out the momentum. You've reached a cliff, you pushed the boulder over the cliff, now you've lost the boulder. Momentum's gone. Now you have to find a new boulder and start pushing him down the hill. Start pushing it down the hill. And that is more difficult than getting the ball rolling to begin with. Let's say when you wake up, you get out of bed, that's a bit of momentum. You do some work, momentum. You relapse, momentum's gone. Wiped out the face of the planet. Now it's 10 times harder to start up again. I didn't say it was easy. It's going to be very hard. So to start off, you're going to have to sit there in your mess and think to yourself, what should I do? Should I sit here? More than likely relapse again. Feel like shit. Maybe even get caught by someone in the state I am now. Or should I go out, do some training, and then come back and be much better off? Go out and do some training. So every time you relapse, I want you to go out. Go to the gym. Okay, you've gone to the gym already today. Then go for a run. Do a 3-kilometer run, a 5-kilometer run, 10-kilometer run. I don't fucking know. But push yourself. Once you've done it, and it was quite hard, or it wasn't very easy, it's a win. It's a mini win. Because people don't realize that, okay, he's a millionaire, or he's got a nice car, or a nice chick, she's hot, whatever, nice house. He had to use the little wins. That guy had to use all the little wins he had. Everyone that's successful, you always see the glamour, all the good moments, but you don't see the bad moments where they have to force momentum. They have to force it into play. They have to get these little wins, because it's all about the little wins that kind of culminate into a big win. A big win. And that's what you need, a big win. So use the little wins. Use those little wins. So do the gym. Don't relapse again. That's a win. Because a lot of people relapse twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. I probably relapsed most in one day, probably like 7 times. Maybe more. I don't know. I was a fucking champ. No, I'm joking. But by not relapsing, that's a win. By training, that's a win. By doing a bit of work, that's a win. By not watching social media, that's a win. By not relapsing, that's a win. By reading a book, that's a win. By speaking to someone, saying hello, that's a win. Use these little wins. Use the energy you've gained from post-nut clarity, the anger, the sadness, the guilt. Use all of that. Use that to your advantage, because that's the fuck? My camera's like really fucking blurry. Well, if it's still working, let's see. There. Is that working? Use the energy. That's a lot of emotions to have at one specific time. What the fuck? Use that emotion. That's too much emotion, really, to hold. And it's too much emotion for you to cope with. No man or woman can cope with that much emotion, raw emotion. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with it. I'm just gonna continue with the blurry camera. Sorry about that. It's too much emotion to feel at once. So by kind of burning that out, maybe if you have a punching bag or you do boxing, that's a good way to do it. Maybe rugby, football, whatever. Burn that emotion off. Use that. Use that because that's powerful. It's hard to get that every day. That is an infinite amount of motivation. You can do whatever you need to with that amount of emotion. You just kind of have to start. But that can come from anything. Maybe you relapsed in the morning. Maybe you relapsed before you went to bed. It's gonna be fucking terrible. It's gonna be a terrible morning. You're not gonna want to get out of bed. Ow. You're gonna want to come up with excuses as to why you shouldn't get out of bed. What I do every morning is I count from 5. I go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, out of bed. And by 1, I have to be out of bed when my alarm goes off. So when my alarm goes off, I'm out of bed. 5 seconds. Sometimes after I've relapsed, maybe in the morning, or maybe I relapsed at nighttime and then in the morning, the next morning, I don't want to get out of bed. I have to roll out of bed. I have to drag myself out of bed. But the fact I've done that, the fact I got out of bed, that's a bit of fucking momentum. Then I can build on that. I can go for a run, do the gym. I'm just giving fitness examples. You can do work, whatever. You can go chat up a girl. Fucking save a cat, whatever. But use that. So maybe go on a walk and think about things. Just do something productive, something beneficial. Because that's a lot of energy, that's a lot of emotion. And by using that, it will give you a better shot at kind of overcoming your addiction. I found that every time that I did this after a relapse, after I used post-nut clarity, I wouldn't relapse for a long time because I gave myself the best chance I could with the momentum I had built to move on. Whereas the times I didn't try and build the momentum, the times I didn't bother building up momentum, and times I just kind of sat there and then relapsed again, I've gone further and further down the pit hole where I relapsed like 5 times. So I could have relapsed once and done some good shit and not relapsed for another 2 weeks, or could have relapsed 5 times, felt like shit, but I felt good for a little while. What would you rather? Probably the first option, and that's what I decided. And the very last time I relapsed ever, I can remember it. I don't remember the date, but I remember exactly what I did. I relapsed to fucking who knows, Sophie Rain, for example. I don't know who it was. I relapsed, and the first thing I did was I went out and I did rugby training. First thing I did, went out and did some rugby training for 2 hours. I met a girl on my way back, and then I met a load of other girls. And that's what happens when you use that. I would have never met that girl. I never would have maybe made my touch as good as it is. Maybe it wouldn't have been as natural if I didn't go out. Maybe I would have relapsed 10 other times. You never know. But I'd rather not know what could have happened. So by using that, you're going to experience more, but you're also going to get more shit done. That's powerful. That's kind of how you build up momentum. That's how you start achieving shit. Now I'm able to use that energy of lust before I relapse. I can use that energy now and do shit. But before it used to be the post-nut clarity energy. So you have to start from somewhere. This is the first step to getting to my level. So give this a go and just keep it in mind. Have a good day. And also make sure to subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Any topic you'd like me to go over, comment them down below. And have a good day.